Hello everyone, welcome to the CTV News on Calabash TV and on the Wave Radio 94.5. I am Lisa Joseph. The House of Assembly met today, and that will be our concentration, with Parliament approving an amendment to the insurance premium tax bill that will see the rate for local companies double. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Kenny Anthony, in presenting the amendment, explained that the move is to make St. Lucia more compliant under the Single Market and Economy, the CSME. The revised Treaty of Chaguaramas dictates that CARICOM companies be considered equal to local or domestic companies. As such, CARICOM companies operating in St. Lucia must receive the same concessions and tax rates as locals. Prime Minister Anthony told the House that St. Lucia has been threatened numerous times with legal action because of non-compliance.
Take, for example, the company that has purchased Super J, the chain of supermarkets. We all know it's a Trinidadian company. That company, by virtue of its establishment in St. Lucia, is entitled to be treated as if it is a locally established company. So too with insurance companies. An insurance company that is established in Trinidad and Tobago, or Barbados, or Jamaica, and sets up office in St. Lucia is entitled to be treated in the identical way with a local company. In effect, we cannot ask that the insurance premium tax applied to local companies be at a lower rate than the insurance premium tax applied to CARICOM companies. They must be equalized.
Now that government is rationalizing the environment, the CARICOM companies will pay the local tax rate, and some $2.7 million will be lost in revenue as a result. To offset that situation, the government has decided to adjust the local tax rate from 1.5% to 3%. Cashie South East MP Guy Joseph has called for a revision of the decision, arguing that policyholders will be the ones to feel the pinch as a result of the increased rate for local companies.
Because it means that the local companies, where you are paying the taxes of 1.5, would now move to 3, and the CARICOM would remain at the 3% that they are. So couldn't we find the middle ground between the 1.5 and the 3% and not cause the government to lose any revenue, but not add any burden to insurance premium payers who are already finding it very difficult to meet those payments. And Mr. Speaker, if you follow the trend of what is happening in insurances, sometimes people go and they just try to insure their house during the hurricane season. People lapse on some of their insurance payments for health. And then when they have to go back, sometimes they have to go through the whole process again. We know how important insurance is. And it may look like a 1.5% interest in that instance, but it can impact the persons.
In more news from the sit-in, the House of Assembly approved the waiver of VAT to allow the granting of concessions on Christmas barrels. Dr. Kenny Anthony presented a resolution to Parliament seeking an amendment to the VAT Act to allow for the waiver of the tax.
Again, I wish to remind members of the public, Mr. Speaker, that the number of barrels that would qualify for the concessions would be limited to 2 per household, no more than 2, so each household is allowed to import 2 barrels. Secondly, it has to be remembered that the items that are covered do not apply to electronic items, so you can't use barrels to bring in televisions and video equipment and the rest of it. Furthermore, it has to be remembered that the items do not apply, are not items for commercial use. That is to say, if anybody imports any items and the Customs Department, upon opening the barrels or inspecting the barrels, discovered that there is reasonable cause to believe that the importer would sell the items. For example, if all of a sudden there's a disproportionate number of particular items and the customs officers become suspicious, then very clearly they may deem the items to be for commercial use, which would be prohibited by this resolution.
There would be an upper limit of $2,500 per barrel on the value of items qualifying for the concessions. Castries Central MP Richard Frederick meantime reiterated a call for the amendment of the VAT Act to reflect a zero rating for government contracts. Having contractors pay VAT on monies collected from the government, he said, seems to defeat the purpose.
The whole objective of the exercise is to increase your revenue base and to collect more money, to put it colloquially. You know, if you are handing out a contract and as a government have to pay the contractor VAT and make an intense effort to collect it back, I believe, Mr. Speaker, that is an exercise in futility, and that is one means of monies of the taxpayers going down the drain. We are not identifying any given contract here or any given contractor, but what I'm saying is, as a policy, it makes no sense that we want to collect VAT monies, but we are paying VAT to a contractor to then make efforts to recollect those monies that we have already paid. So I'm looking forward, Mr. Speaker. Every year we come to amend the VAT Act pursuant to the stipulations that this cannot be done by Cabinet. I quite understand that, Mr. Speaker, but I'm looking forward as well to an amendment so that government does not pay contractors VAT to make an assiduous effort to recollect it, and most times that effort can be in vain.
Prime Minister Anthony, in response, said the observation was valid, informing that there will be a review of the VAT Act at some point.
I am on record as saying that the VAT legislation is not the happiest pieces of legislation ever drafted. Obviously, we found it there. We had to press on, and we lived with it. But someday in the future, I think it really requires total redrafting to simplify it, to make it more accessible. You know, you should not have to be constantly interpreting provisions of the Act. It's a challenge. And I believe that the member for Castries Central will perhaps understand the issue, because to maintain the coherence and unity of VAT, the logic of VAT does in fact require governments to meet the cost of VAT to contractors. But on the other hand, government in turn collects it at the end of the day, so that it then becomes a rather circular matter, circular issue. And it is a sheer logic of VAT as it is designed that has caused this. But I want to reassure the member for Castries Central that the Ministry of Finance has been looking at this issue to see how best we could resolve it.